Good morning, folks. It's 12:32 a.m. Oh, p.m. Excuse me. It's just past noon at 12:30 on the 14th day, 6th month, 2022. Take my glasses off to see this part of the screen. Right. Okay, I'm going to tell you. As this truck, these pressures down here in Antarctica are about to give you a big setup. Right? Remember that pressure pump we had before when you get a high and a high and you're going to get a low and a low, sucking stuff down from the tropics? That's about to happen. It's going to get very strong here, probably about the 21st. And with the circulations, right? Think circulation, low, going that way. I might have to change cursor color. Live with it. I'm going to just use this. This is going clockwise, and this is going counterclockwise in this hemisphere. And that effect becomes a bit less as you get toward the equator, where you'll end up seeing more blobs, less defined circulations. But squarulation shouldn't happen. There's some big winds here. See how tightly packed these isobar lines are? Each one of these is two ticks. That's 941 is extremely low. And so this is pumping up some very cold air from around here in Antarctica. This high pressure over Antarctica can only really be generated by electromagnetic frequency or a very large space weather event, as we bring stuff into our poles magnetically, our link to the sun. I'm not going to really go into that part. And we have devices down here in Antarctica that are atmospheric heaters that we know about, right? HARP-type devices and various other things that heat the atmosphere. So this has displaced a lot of cold air into the seas around Antarctica, all around the entire planet. It's a lot less towards South America. But the big displacement, like their pump is here. And it's a pump. And it's winter time. You're going to get cold. Okay, so coming for y'all as this high pressure becomes singular. Right? This will go boop. Or more like a boop. They're going to keep going back and forth because that's lower. This will go a bit toward this. This will feed toward that. Right? So it's bringing that in here. This is bringing cold into there, and that's why you're getting such harsh weather here. The winds aren't as severe at this time, but they will as this passes over. Count on that. But here coming about, as these pressures truck over, it has to. Like if I look here, right, this is a setup for really bad weather through here. And so I'm going to call for snows coming here about here. When these two meet, big stuff's is going to happen. See them doing this dance? This is the setup for wicked snows, wicked cold. The pump is here. Boom, boom, and they're fighting. So you're going to get a suction pump of cold. Yeah. Now think of this one here, right? It's bringing all this up from in here, right? Wind is coming up and around, down there, up and around. Follow these lines, right? It's kicking it up. Then this one's kicking that up because it's rotating. You got to think of things like gears and up into here. So its pump is here. And boy, are you guys going to get clobbered through here. There's just no way around it. I have more data than I had last night. So I'm going to go look at your accumulations. I'm going to turn this off for the moment. Over your 10 days. You ain't seeing much, but you see all the moisture that's here? That's a concern. This is right where the pressure pump is, where it sucks it up and across. And all the cold air is here, and all of this is here. All this moisture is here to pull down into it. And for them to snow up these mountains here is very, 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 very possible. So I'm going to say be very careful through these mountain passes. Again, Canberra. Watch yourself getting to your state house. Again, treacherous conditions could be in your mountains by then. So I'm going to be keeping quite an eye on this, actually. But I guarantee you on the 24th, I'm going to be traveling. Or on the 25th, I'm not going to be home. I'm not going to have my computer, so I'll give you a very good update before I go out of town. Look at all this moisture off coughs in 10 days could be inland here. All of it. The frost and stuff on the ground, we got to get this dried out up here. You guys ain't going to be able to plant your winter crops. Right? This is a big, big, big concern. Adelaide, over the next 10 days, a good swamping. But I told you that was coming. Not much, just wetness. It looks like it's a very, very consistent amount coming for y'all. 35, 38, that's a small day. Then a jump. So you got a event, a break, and an event. And that event will be that pressure I showed you coming in and across. I got to give you guys a warning. I do see a problem. So, yeah, bites the bullet. No such thing as jumping the gun when it's time to get people prepared. You might need to get something to heat your house. You might need to make one of those candle terracotta things. You make your candles yourselves that are not toxic. Right? So to have heat. Because who's going to be able to afford to pay heat, have petrol, and buy a head of lettuce this year? Which I will point out, you will not die if you don't eat that particular head of lettuce. Okay? You should have grown your microgreens by now. Your little jars of sprouts. It's a good family project for you and your children to learn to grow things. And over the next 10 days, let's have a quick event look. I'm just looking at their weather plan. Over the next 24 hours, the wetness continues. That's some big bands sitting off your coast, actually. When that comes inland, and it's inevitable, it's bringing a huge train of moisture. All that could come in at any time. We've seen how EMF move moisture. How boom, big pop can do stuff like that. I'm going to see if it's still running. Good. This don't make sense. See, that could be inland far. See what I mean? This is my concern. That moisture bumps inland from one EMF move and meets this cold air through here, and you got a blizzard. And there's no way around that. Look at these winds coming in over. I want the accumulation. Right, look at these winds. And again, these mountain passes through Canberra, and your people are planning a protest to go down there. Watch out. Be careful, high-sided vehicles. These winds are treacherous. This is treacherous. See? That's some gusty conditions. Take out a high-sided vehicle. Right? All through this area is a huge concern. Now, the direction of flow is odd. This is telling me they're heating it here. There'll be a beam. Has to be. It's the only way to make that happen. Really, it is. So again, expect Tamworth to be active over the next 3 days, beaming. Let's keep an eye out on that. Expect it. We got radar stations out there you're not used to. I'm picking up their signatures in some of you guys' stuff you're showing me. My God. Surf's up. There are going to be some big swells. Yeah, all through here. See, when I got this coming down like this, meeting all that cold air coming up like this, that's circulating like this, that's bad. That's the setup for a blizzard. You know I'm doing a determine right now, right? I'm going to make a call. So your snows are going to continue. This is just temperature. What's your nighttime? I gotta check different times of day. Because remember, we got heating and cooling that happens day and night. And remember, this is winter. You should get. Yeah, this is my concern. The snow's up towards coughs. Yep. That's cold enough to snow up there in the mountains. So you guys get rugged up. Get your warm stuff out. Be ready. So by this day here, Tyree is going to be blasting. Look at the flow. See the flow split? That's a weather plan for EMF heat. And if they heat that there, I'd have to see what the beam is going to be. But all your flows bringing that north. A bit of calm inland here. That'll be good to see. It'll keep some of the dust down. And most of the flows bringing, if there's any dust that's been whipped up out here, it's going over these cities now. So you guys get the wicked sunsets. You guys get the toxic dust over the top of you. So we'll be watching for that in the coming week. Be prepared. How do you prepare for toxic dust? Only you could decide what measures you're willing to take. The boy in the bubble. Look at this crap coming. This is temperature now. Not showing you rain. This is just temperature. Because I'm trying to determine where the snow going to be. Yeah, it's very possible you're going to get there. I'm saying you're going to get some snow. I don't see how it's not going to happen. This does not make sense. This is nonsensical. Nonsensical. Pressure pumps there in 10 days. Let's see. What's their last call? If I bring all this moisture in, and the pressure pump bringing stuff down, and I got the 14 right here, you guys are going to get wet, and you're going to get cold, and as soon as this high pressure pimple pops, dun 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 dun, winter wonderland. Okay, so let's be vigilant, let's be watching this. I'm going to keep this video short. It wasn't really a chemtrail video, it's just a quick pressure roundup. Can I show you anything? I don't know. Let me hit the set view button. This is when the videos usually start to go south. What's going on today in Chemstralia? I see the square form to this straight off. Looks like a trapezoid. And you're all trapped underneath the zoids. Now this takes a few to load. Who's going to get it first? Here. I know the Melbourne people are pulling my cursor over here. They're pulling it. They're pulling it. Center of squarulation is here. Let's have a look at the chem bombs fueling this storm. Because I see it already. Do you see them already? Come on, start paying attention. Usually I put my cursor right where the action is. I'm just letting the view load up. I'm going to bring it in. Bring it on home. Take a minute for it to get clearer, evidently. You getting an idea that that's a square out there turning around with boom, 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 boom. That just went in the wrong direction, didn't it? Didn't it? Right here. Something go. Right there. That's going that way, and it shouldn't. Look at the EMF signature here. So you got a strato cruiser up there deploying. Making the weather. Another square popping up here. Owning your weather. Continuing to make what they're calling the center of circulation rotate. Look at how square that is. We got to confront. There's a string of chem bombs just deployed here. Boom, 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 boom. I imagine somebody here in Melbourne has a view of that off the coast and look in this direction. Say the boom, booming of the plumins. I'm going backwards. Yeah, that's boom, boom, plume, folks. Boom, boom, and the plumins. Not good at all. Look at all that chem out here. Over our oceans, polluting our planet. Pollution. This is pollution. Here's another odd one. This should be circulating in, right? But watch it reach down. I'm going to go backwards. Now watch it reaching. See it reaching? Right here. It's reaching the wrong directions. It's flowing two directions at once. And there's this split of the chem bombs there as they divide it into their appropriatenesses. And then there's more going off here. Boom, boom, and boom. Do the zoom bit. We have an arc of them right here. Boom, 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 boom. Chemical catalysts in your skies. That is, by definition, a chemical trail. A chemtrail. Get some more going off here. Look. Boom, 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 boom. Come on. Right here. These are chemtrails, folks. In your skies over the top. You'll start to recognize them. And these ain't just your old-fashioned type clouds. I'm going backwards in 10-minute jumps. See it here? And if you find my forecast valuable and feel like supporting my work, you may do so at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. PayPal.me/Robert Deutsch. And remember, sharing is caring, and kind words to me also. They do a lot in my day. Look at how square this is down on the lower cloud deck. You guys will call them Sirius and all this stuff that the mainstream media calls them, but I'm going to call them according to the terms that are going to explain this EMF wave that just came through. I'm going to let this roll but faster so you can see the waveforms, because they take a while for you to look at the pattern. Watch this wave come down. See it? The energy wave? Watch. See the pattern. The faster you go, the easier it shows up. And that's 4 hours time. See, that's going the wrong way. Low deck is actually spinning with it. The vortex should be up and out. Like this. See what I mean? Off the ocean, up the center, across the top. Yep. And it should be spinning and it should be round. And I don't see that at all. I see a square. I see one of those spin arts. And they're not very good at hiding what they're doing. So let's see if we can pick up any other waves coming through. There's a wave coming through here. It's kind of at an angle from Adelaide. See it? You can see the waves boiling on the ocean. Look at this warmer air coming south and meeting this colder air. This is the recipe for storms. Look at the standing wave over the top of these mountains. Some of this will be snow showing up. Right? Let's go over this way where you're going to see a lot of EMF. Very traditionally. And they call it gravity. Look, doesn't that look like a bunch of crap just streaming over you when you see it fast in 4 hours? Look how fast this thing moved. Slower. We could slow it down. We need to slow our decisions down and start thinking before we do actions like this. Chem bombs suck. Slower. Boom, 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 boom. Go to plumes. Would you look at the guilt? This is nasty. If fish could cough, what would it sound like? Put your ear in the water. That's what it sounds like. Chem bombs suck. Everything's flowing this way, but this decides I'm going to go this direction. Something is being propelled. Something is being remotely controlled. Computer controlled. I'd hate to think there's a person sitting behind a drone doing this with their eyeballs. I would like to think it's being done by a computer autonomously. And that it needs to cease, because if a person was doing this to our planet, there isn't a gallows high enough to hang him from. There's not a punishment steep enough for the poisoning of these oceans. You can't pay for what the damage this is doing. You see what I'm pointing at here? Boom! Big cluster of them going out. And if you could deny this all you want, I'm blue in the face on trying to prove what's obvious. You know, I can hit you with a brick and you can think it's a sponge, but I imagine it won't feel very good. Right, I'm going to get this to where I can do a little bit of, where you can see it clearer. Right, these ain't round clouds, are they? Look at these little pow, 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 these pellets of something dispersing. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's a cluster of them in an arc pointing at a dot spot right here. Boom, boom, plumes. Off your coast. And this is streaming across your country. The big Masonic apron here. These are not round, circular clouds. These are chem bombs. Chem bomb sucks. These ain't being done by jet plane chemtrails like we used to see. This is a method. This is the artillery method and the balloon method all in once, and I've done videos on that already. It's up to you to go through my work and find them. Look at the squares to this. Isn't this horrendous? I know it's blurry. They could do a better job with this. What a shame. What a shame. And we'll allow this to go on. How many years I've been reporting on this? How many years? A bit of Kambambia going on off your coast here. Gladstone. It just came right over the top. Yeah, I've seen your pictures too. And that was a string of chem. What happened here? Boom, 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 boom over your ocean, continuing this cloud and its shade over the Great Barrier Reef. What a shame. There's life out there that needs sunlight to eat. See the plumes? One decided to go that way in a straight line. Look at that off the coast of Gladstone, Maryborough, Fraser Island. This is where the whales are. I'm gonna get wound up. If I start feeling their pain, and they're in pain, they can't be loving the microplastics that's falling out that they call chaff, that they admit to. Look at this line here. Straight, 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 all pointing at this square in here. This is a chem bomb deployment. Those are chem bombs. Well, this is going that way, and the low deck's bringing something in this way. Something wicked your way comes, Rockhampton. Look at this one here on the low deck. And you might see a round cloud from the shore, but do you notice that's like a smoke ring with something in the center of it? Well, it is. Something that's deployed. Boom! Went your plumes. So easy to see geoengineering. All you got to do is open your eyes. This is the satview.bom.gov.au. This is your own website, Australia government. Fact check that. Straight line off the coast of Lismore here in an arc. And boom, boom, right here. I could see them. I'm going to turn some of these off for a moment. And you can see where I am. See this right here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boom, boom, plumes going on. All right. Here we go. Let's have a look. The easternmost point in Australia is Byron Bay. Cape Byron, right here. See it right there? So you know where you are? Look at that Fall Street cloud. It's just chem bomb deployment. I'm going to let it get clear. I'm catching that. Chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb, chem bomb, all up and down your coast, owning your weather, taking your sunshine away. It's what you saw in the distance in your sunrise pictures, Sue, when you seen this. See the S? You got your name in the sky. That's not cool. Superman. We gotta fix this like Superman, Superwoman, whatever it takes, Super You. Find yourself, see yourself, go inside yourself and see that your weather is not only owned, and we gotta manifest this away through action. Actions speak louder than words. I could come on here all day long and go boom, 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 go to plumes, and you guys laugh at my sarcasm, but at the end of the day, is it yielding the change that we need? Boom, 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 there you go. This rocket moving along here. See where I'm pointing? There's a deployment. Big wave going out. Bzzz. Getting fried, Australia style. You're the shrimp, but you're on the microwave. Chem bombs. Boom, boom, boom. Bada boom, bada boom, 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 bada boom, boom, boom. Let's see what we can do here. Seems like I gotta touch the cursor to get it to do what I want. Yeah, that's definitely chem bomb deployment. Look at the square here. Look at the circular pattern. It's all pointing at an emanation point. An emanation point. The center from which something occurs. Epicenter. Something is moving along and deploying. Geoengineering is real. Geoengineering sucks. Chem bombs suck. And well, I'm tired of doing this every day, because you know what? This sucks. Having to show you guys your weather zone all day long, every day. Faster, faster, faster. Own it, own it, own it. But the truth of theirs, which is a lie, is going to lie in your coffins with you. Big love. Peace.